Tag team, what is up? Do not let your eyes deceive you. It's your boy Scoot. Not only is it your boy Scoot, but I'm Mr. 33 and a third. No more. See, it's been a while. We shouldn't have left you without some dope content to step to. Yeah, I should have thought that one through. But you're thinking to yourself, why am I not Mr. 33 and a third anymore? Because I am this channel's rightful champion, which makes me, you guessed it, three time, three time, three time predictions champ. Thank you. Thank you. The prophecy finally came through, and the belt belongs to me where it should have been the whole time. And at least until Full Gear, it's mine. I know, just I'm a bask in it. Let me bask in the glory. I'm like Mox. Scooter three times, three times prediction champion. First ever, three times. But I am here to discuss NXT's Halloween Havoc. It was this past Saturday. It was a premium live event. It upgraded from a typical, not Raw, it upgraded from a typical NXT show to a full-on premium live event or pay-per-view if you want to be classic about it. And you know what? It wasn't bad. They still don't have the takeover name back yet, but overall, the pay-per-view was not bad. And for shits and giggles out there, we did a gentleman's bet between us and T.A.G and Juggs. And I only got one wrong. So technically I won that night. So I know just wins all around. You know, everything is coming up Millhouse. Your boy is just basking in this championship reign. And I hope to leave this year still champion. But for now, let's get into Halloween Havoc 2022. First match of the night, five-way ladder match for the North American Championship. We had Carmelo Hayes, two-time champ, Nathan Frazier, Von Wagner, Wesley, Oro Mensah. If you haven't been watching NXT recently or lately, Oro Mensah was formerly Oliver Carter, if I'm not mistaken, former NXT UK Tag Champ. If y'all didn't know, they did dissolve NXT UK. Next year, it'll launch as NXT Europe. A bunch of NXT UK talent came to the US. They merged all the belt. Oliver Carter was tag team champs with, oh my gosh, I forgot his name, but his partner got injured, which that's the reason why they had to relinquish the belts, which is why Briggs and Jensen had the titles. If y'all remember that little stint where Briggs and Jensen had the belts. But then, like I said, Worlds Collide, it merged. But Oro Mensah, not a bad ladder match. The only issue I have with NXT and their ladder matches now is that they're not, they don't have enough room and space to have these ladder matches. Because there was a moment where Von Wagner was trying to pull out an XL ladder, and there was a woman in the crowd who almost got smacked in the face. Had she not been paying attention, the ladder would have smacked her in the face. I'm pretty sure it would have been a lawsuit. But ultimately, five-way ladder match. Of course, you're going to get your ladder match spots. Nothing here. Wasn't a bad match. I knew going in Carmelo wasn't going to win. It didn't feel like it was Carmelo's time to be three-time champ. They've been recently testing Carmelo on main event. So either Carmelo is about to graduate to the main roster or potentially go for the NXT championship. We'll get that. Like I said, some good spots. You know, ladder matches is always gonna have that little heightened sense of danger. Ultimately, Wesley got the belt, deservingly so. Um, I thought maybe Nathan Frazier was going to pull it out, but Wesley was my dog in the race, as they say. And Wesley now North American champ, former tag champ. Congrats to Wesley. And let's see what happens with his title reign. Hopefully his title reign is not lackluster. So let's hope that. Next match, it ended up being a casket match between Grayson Waller and Apollo Crews. During the pre-show, they did the spin the wheel, make the deal, landed on casket match. Um, this match really didn't do it for me. I don't know, maybe because it was in a being a casket match, or maybe because what happened mid-match. So what happened was they brought out this little rink-a-dink wooden casket, and they had this whole big presentation to do it. And then mid-match, Waller pushed Apollo off the top rope and he crashed through the casket. So, of course, it was the mysterious, did he win? Did he lose? Of course, the caveat to a casket match, if you are familiar, you put your opponent in the casket and then close said casket. Grayson didn't do that. He pushed Apollo through it. Then they did the whole spot where the lights went out. Apollo, well, sorry, lights went out, lights came back on. Apollo was now in the ramp, and the Druids were bringing out a bigger, better, badder casket. So match continued. They was doing spots because the casket was so big. They was doing spots, this, that, and the third. Apollo eventually slammed Waller in the casket, closed it. Cruz wins. Hopefully this feud is over with. And it was even how it started to begin with. It was like, I guess. It was the whole thumb to the eye, Apollo having his eye messed up. Like, at least the match could have been like a blindfold match or something that would have dealt with the fact that the whole blinding of each other, things like that. But overall, decent match. Next up, another was a spin the wheel, make the deal, which was done before, I think 2 weeks ago. Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade, Weapons Wild, which means anything goes. Weapons everywhere. Anything could be used as weapons. They had brooms, they had chairs, skateboards, kendo sticks, weapons everywhere. Going in the match, I had a feeling Roxanne. She kept getting bested by Cora. Cora had beat her. I forgot what event it was. It was one of the themed NXT shows where Cora got the best of Roxanne. This was Roxanne's chance to get the better of Cora. They did some pretty decent spots. Their little spot, that little balcony that they have in NXT, they did a little spot off of that. I don't know if that spot went 100% correct. Something about that spot looked a little sketchy, like something didn't go right with that. But ultimately, it wasn't a bad match. Little stutter steps here and there. But eventually Roxanne hit the pot rocks on a pile of chairs. 1, 2, 3. She gets her revenge. Let's see what happens now. Is it over between the two? Is it still continuing? Are they going to finally go their separate ways and do whatever? We shall see. Next match on the card, ambulance match, Julius Creed versus Damon Kemp. Now this all started because there was a rat, there was a Judas inside a diamond mine. Everybody was thinking it was Roddy. It ended up being Damon Kemp. And from that, he beat up Roddy in the parking lot. Roddy's now injured. He took on Brutus Creed. He beat him one-on-one. And all that was left was, of course, to take on Julius. Now, the problem was Brutus being the wild man, the wild animal he is. Damon was like, look here, fam. I will never be safe as long as your brother is around. So not only are we going to do this match, but we're going to do this match one-on-one. And if I beat you in this match, your brother is gone from NXT. So Brutus would have been gone from NXT if Damon won. This match has some interesting spots. Interesting enough, I guess from the way the arena is set up, they had the ambulance parked at a weird spot. And from where it was parked at, you would think a lot of action, like action did happen in that little backstage area, but a lot of the match was in the ring. I guess it was more or less, have the fans see it. But, since the ambulance wasn't parked kind of ringside-ish, you would have thought a lot of action would have happened there. But it ultimately ended with Julius repeating what Damon did to him, which he hit Damon, I think the fans counted 10 or 11 times with the chair. And then I think he slammed him on the stretcher. Something else. Carried Damon on his shoulders, threw him in the back of the ambulance, slammed it shut. Julius Creed wins. Damon and Ivy come out to celebrate with him because, he just basically saved his brother's career. Wasn't a bad match. Had it not been for that stipulation of if Damon wins, then Brutus is gone, I would have thought Damon would have did this, would have won this, because then he would have basically beat all members of Diamond Mine, and then Roddy would have been like his final boss in a sense. Roddy, unless Roddy is genuinely hurt. So I guess that would have made a difference too. But Roddy would have been like the final boss in a sense. But it's fine. Like I said, decent match, ambulance match. Decent spots. Let's see what else. I'd like to know where this goes to. With them being so intertwined, is it just now Damon's gonna just do Damon things, and the Creeds are gonna just go back to being the tag team? So I am kind of interested to see what happens now with this. Like, is it over between Damon and Diamond Mine, or is it still some beef, some tension still there? Next up, NXT Women's Championship match between Alba Fire versus Mandy Rose. So this match started before the casket match. So basically what happened was Alba Fire was like, hey, Mandy, if you brave enough or woman enough, come meet me in this haunted house and come find me. So it's the third year in a row they did some type of haunted house type gimmick. So Toxic Attraction goes to the haunted house, and it was the typical scares. Gigi was all up for it because, she loved Halloween and everything. But they did the whole thing like they did last year with Gargano and Loomis, versus Trick and Carmelo. And then, the year before, it was Loomis and Cameron Grimes. So if you remember those two, it was kind of much the same. Bunch of like jump scares and people dressed up to scare Toxic Attraction and things like that. And of course, they was taken out one by one. And then eventually Alba got her hands on Mandy, beat her up, drove her to the arena. And then that's where, after the ambulance was taking Damon away, Alba was driving up with Mandy. Then, carried her to the ring, match starts. That's basically what happened with this one. There was no stipulation to this one. This was the only match without a technical stipulation. Because, technically with a triple threat match, it's still no DQ. But this was the only match without a real stipulation. This match was poised for Alba to finally dethrone Mandy. The only downside is context clues. And the context clues was if Mandy wins, then I think come Tuesday, she will eventually reach a year as champ. So when they said that, it was kind of one of those, oh, well, y'all done kind of gave it away now. And this was the only match I didn't guess correctly because us as T.A.G, we thought Alba was going to take it. But this was the only match I got wrong. So I was 5-1 for those who didn't count. 5-1. And this was my only blemish. But once again, had it not been for the fact that they said all of that stuff, I would have thought Alba would have won. But of course, typical championship match fashion, especially with a person with a faction. Towards the end, Gigi and JC found their way back to the arena. They caused interference. They hit their high-low finisher, threw Alba in the ring. Mandy hits the bicycle knee. 1, 2, 3. Mandy Rose is still champion, and officially she will hit a year as NXT Women's Champion. I don't know who's going to take it from her now. Maybe they might try Roxanne Perez again. I don't know if they're going to try to get Ivy now to potentially step up. Maybe Alba Fire might get a run back. Trying to think who else in the women's division. I guess maybe pending on this whole Nikita Lyons, Zoe Stark versus Katana and Kaden. Maybe if Nikita and Zoe lose, maybe one of those two might go for the title. I don't know. I'm very intrigued to see ultimately who takes that belt off of Mandy Rose, especially now since she's about to hit a year as champ. And I think they announced, I think it was early December. I think it was December 6th or something like that. I think it was like the first or second Saturday in December will be Deadline, which is the last premium live event of the year. Because after Survivor Series, WWE won't have another event until Royal Rumble because they canceled day one. So with WWE's case, it's Crown Jewel, then Survivor Series, and then nothing until Royal Rumble. While in NXT's case, they have Deadline, which I want to say was like December 6th or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, ultimately, I kind of want to see who's going to take that belt off of Mandy, especially since she's not going to cross a year as champ. Also, Shotzi Blackheart and Quincy Elliott were your hosts. And in the one segment where they was hosting, Lash Legend decides to interrupt for reasons, and her and Shotzi got into it. So her and Shotzi are going to have a match Tuesday. Reasons. I guess they had to fill some time, and they did this. So, like I said, reasons. Also, if you've been keeping up with NXT and especially the Schism, they've been having a person in a red hoodie. That person is going to reveal themselves on Tuesday. There was another segment where it seems like Dominic Dijakovic might be coming back. It was a person walking, and they burned the mask of his character was what? T-Bar. No, he was Mace. T-Bar. They threw the mask in the fire, so it seemed like Dominic Dijakovic might be coming back to NXT. What else? Before I get to the main event, I think that was all the things they announced that was happening during Halloween Havoc. If I forget something, drop it in the comments. Main event time. Triple threat match for the NXT Championship. Champ Braun Breaker, Ilya Dragunov, JD Madonna. This was one of them other matches where they kind of gave it away because of their verbiage. It was a triple threat match, and of course, they kept mentioning the fact that last time Braun had a triple threat match, He lost it, but that's when Dolph Ziggler became champion once again. Had they not kept bringing up that detail, I would have thought Ilya or JD would have became champion. But since they kept bringing up the fact that Braun lost his title last time in a triple threat, it was like, y'all giving away the finish. Um, the match wasn't bad, but ultimately it really didn't feel like a title change. Same thing with the Alba Fire and Mandy Rose. It didn't feel like a title was going to change hands. Like, I think I would have thoroughly been surprised if Ilya or JD would have won. Hard hitting, because Ilya, that man, I see why he nicknamed himself the Besieger. I think that's the Besieger. I think that's how you say it. Correct me if I'm wrong, which means invincible. But that's a hard hitting man. Of course, you had the hard hitting will and the spirit of Ilya. You had Braun Breaker, who's always mad, aggressive, strong, and then you had the smarts and the cunning and the tactician of a JD Madonna. And JD was hustling. Like, there was some times he was pulling some sneaky stuff to try to win that title. But ultimately, I forgot how they got JD out. But ultimately, Ilya was going for a torpedo Moscow. Braun intercepted him with a spear. 1, 2, 3. Braun Breaker stays champion. Now, they did an interesting thing the Tuesday before Halloween Havoc, when Ilya was holding up the title, which of course, once you hold up the title, you're not going to win it. So stop doing it. Then Austin Theory came out to make it seem like he could potentially cash in for the NXT championship. No mention of that. I think they mentioned it, but there was no whiff of Austin Theory potentially could come out there. Excuse me for a second. Well, yeah, there was no whiff of Austin Theory potentially coming out there to cash in. So it kind of makes me wonder too. Same thing in Mandy Rose's case. Who's gonna take the belt off of Braun? They got that man damn near built invincible. He didn't beat literally damn near didn't beat everybody. Unless Carmelo steps up to him, they might pull the whole, well, hey, you didn't fight me one-on-one. Dominant Dijakovic, maybe. I can't think of who else will legit be a true challenger to defeat Braun. But I guess we'll see. That was Halloween Havoc. Ultimately, it wasn't a bad show. There was some highs, of course, there was some lows, but if you bring the show all together overall, wasn't bad at all. It's just kind of want to know what's the fallout going to be. Like, are some of these rivalries done? Is someone going to keep continuing? Like, for instance, is Carmelo going to go out the West League because it's like, hey, you won an Atlanta match, fight me one-on-one. Is Roxanne and Cora done? Is Mandy and Alba done? What's next for Braun? Kind of interested to see what goes on. And then this coming Tuesday, we have Tag Team Title Tuesday. We have Pretty Deadly going up against Idris and Nofe and Malik Blade. Then we got Caden Carter and Katana Chance versus Nikita Lyons, Zoe Stark for the NXT Women's Championship, Women's Tag Team Championship. So I guess we'll see what comes of that. For the most part, hey, Halloween Havoc. I, once again, have been ScooterRay, aka three-time tag prediction champion. Shout outs to the Brodies, the Broskis, the Brohams of Lib Dizzle, Jaeger Bombastic, and of course our own Forbidden Door, Juggs, aka Juggernaut 097. You know what I'm saying? Give a quick little too sweet to him right there. Just bow. Thank y'all tag team for watching. Don't worry, we're still trying to get things straight. Schedules have been weird. You know, adulting is weird. Schedules have been weird. So we're gonna try to bring content. You know, Jaeger got his Jaeger shots. I got my fucking I'm saying it. Dizzle got Dizzle moments. I'm gonna try to give little reviews and things like that here and there. But thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for sticking with us. We're gonna get this together. Don't worry. We're gonna get this together. Schedules conflict. We're gonna get it together. We're gonna keep bringing y'all this fire content. But thank y'all again. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. And until next time, peace. Oh, it's been that long. Until next time, tag the fucking out. Peace.